My mom actually remembers that she tried to put me in gymnastics, and in order for me to get out of doing it, I would fake passing out so that I could leave and go home. Physical education and health education are where you form as an individual. No one in my family had ever done sports before. However, other people would notice. They would be like, Jaden can lift that. She might be 5'1", but she can lift that table up a flight of stairs. She can get those gains and she can sprint, 100 yards and she'll be okay. And that really made a difference for me as well. And so when it came time for me to be like, I want to do sports, my mom was extremely worried about me, but you fast forward 2 years into my career and I was beating girls who had been playing since the 7th grade. But I also realized if I want to keep doing these physically active things, I have to take care of my physical health. Because in my mind, physical and mental health are right on the same level with each other. You can't have one without the other. And so in my head, the more that I was physically driven to do something and make myself better, the more that I formed this positive outlook against physical education and physical activity.
Before COVID, we were able to go down and really engage with the elementary students after school and have physical education activities where my majors, they got to learn how to teach, how to assess, and how to manage. Because we find a lot of times students have difficulties in managing.
I wanted PE to be the place where you were able to be yourself and find something that you love to pursue for the rest of your life. In tennis, if you can get a racket on it, you might be able to get it over the net. If you can get to class, you have a much better chance of passing the class. If you can get to the class that you're teaching, you're going to have a much better chance of getting through to your students and making sure that PE is something they remember and learn from.
Typically, our students start off a little bit more reserved and almost afraid to do something wrong. With Jaden, she was a very mature go-getter, and so she was actually able to hone those skills in a lot quicker than some of our other majors.
And I felt like I honestly got so much more out of our COVID experience than I would have in just a regular PE class.
Now, with COVID, the elementary, middle, and high school students weren't even allowed to share equipment. Jaden and our other teachers, they had to think, what activities can I do that I either don't have them use any equipment or I need to have enough equipment so all of my students have that piece because they weren't allowed to even share.
We were able to create lesson plans that you could do anywhere. We encouraged students to get outside and be active. We were able to work with their PE teachers in different parts of Madison County and show them that, hey, we might be stuck indoors, but outside there's a whole world out there right in your backyard that you can explore without any risk or dangers of coming into health harm with other people.
Many of our students started focusing more on the health education side and focusing on the trauma-sensitive instruction, again, the social-emotional learning. But then my other students, they thrived whenever they got to work with students of different abilities.
Everyone should have a fair chance no matter what their abilities might be. After we modify and accommodate things, it's a new challenge for everybody. Everyone is getting faced with a new learning experience here. And in doing that, we find fun in the things that we didn't know were possible. Didn't know that we could make soccer a game accessible to someone who is blind. Didn't know that we could make tennis accessible to someone who might not have arms. And as a PE teacher, and especially as an adapted PE teacher as well, I'm looking at how I can open those doors so those kids can bust through because they're absolutely needed.
5 students came with me down to New Orleans to our national conference, and that's where Jaden was recognized as the Major of the Year for Shape America. She can go into teaching adaptive phys ed, or go to occupational therapy, or teaching health education or physical education. I mean, she has so many opportunities. To me, it opened up my eyes of, oh, now I know what you're capable of doing, and I can push you even more to open up whenever you're working with real-life children.